Hi, thanks for watching my presentation today. My name is Larry Davies, and today I'm going to talk mainly about technology and the 5 trends that I've been studying. Mostly, though, I'm not going to talk about the trends as much as I'm going to talk about the latest research that I've been looking at and 2 particular articles that I found recently that talk about education. First part of this talk, I'm going to talk about what I'm calling interactive numbers. And it's going to be really railing off a list of numbers that I think are very significant today about the internet in education. And in the second part, I'll get to the implications of those numbers. The second part, the main part, I will be talking about something called the Horizon Report, which is a report done by the New Media Consortium and by EDUCAUSE. And I'm basically going to summarize the points of the Horizon Report and also talk about the implications of the report. So let's get right into it. What you see here is Moore's Law. The number of processors, in this case transistors, that you could have on a silicon chip would probably double every 2 years. The implications of this was, of course, that computing power would double every 2 years. In other words, what computers can do now will be able to do in half the time in 2 years. Now, before I talk about these numbers, I want to show you some pictures. The first picture you're seeing here is a picture of a little girl and her grandmother. Now, as you can see, it's an old-time picture, and it is quite old. My guess is that it's from the 1850s. I haven't been able to figure it out yet. But that little girl is my mother's father's mother. In other words, it's my great-grandmother. And, of course, that means that the grandmother in her picture is my great-great-great-grandmother. And it's interesting to think about the 1850s, and this is most likely a picture in Hungary. The little girl's name is Jenny, by the way. I don't know her grandmother's name. I don't know my great-great-grandmother's name. But I do know where I got the picture, and I'll talk about that picture in the second part in the implications. Now the next picture is a picture of my daughter when she was 6 years old back in the year 2000. As you can see, she's sitting there in front of an old iMac that I used to have. As you can see, she has a little Barbie there, a Barbie game on the laptop, and she was playing with it. She turned around and I was able to take that picture. Here she is again in this next picture with yours truly with the Willy Wonka goggles. And as you can see, this picture is perfectly taken. This picture she took on my iPhone, which I have here, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in the second part. When I ask people about Google, usually they say it's a search engine. Some people will mention Google Docs, which is kind of Microsoft Word on a web-based platform. For me, Google is really interesting. The whole concept behind it is that when I put in a search in their search engine, I'm giving them for free a piece of information about myself. And what Google has decided to do is to take that information and to aggregate it and to look for trends. Let's look at some numbers. This comes from Singer, 2009. This is a web page I found. He did some background on it. It's very interesting. The first number is 1 trillion, and this is the number of unique URLs that Google has right now that they've indexed. 1 trillion. That's a 1 followed by 12 zeros. That's going to double in 2 years if we think about Moore's Law and the exponential component. Here's another number. 2 billion. That's the number of daily Google searches right now. Average cost per click for the phrase consolidation of school loans in AdWords. That's $39.96. All right, let's look at Wikipedia next. A lot of people know Wikipedia. It's a very controversial website right now. because a lot of scholars say, well, it's not scholarly enough, it's not peer-reviewed, and they have a lot of things like that. There's a lot of arguments made. Let's look at a couple numbers. 2,695,205. This is the current number of articles in English on Wikipedia. 684 million. That's the number of visitors to Wikipedia just in the last year. 75,000. That's the number of people who are actively contributing to Wikipedia right now. And 260, which is my last number, that's the number of articles in different languages that there are. The number of languages that there are that have articles in Wikipedia. Now YouTube. Here you are watching me on YouTube right now. There are, as of March 2008, 70 million total videos, 70 million one, including this video. A couple other numbers, 200,000, that's the number of video publishers on YouTube. What else we have? 2 minutes, 46.17 seconds, that's the average length of a video. 26.57, that's the average age of someone who uploads. Well, I'm much above that age, so I'm very much out of the average demographic. Alright, let's talk about the blogosphere next. There are 133 million blogs that have been indexed by a blog website called Technorati since 2002. There are 346 million people globally who read blogs. There are 900,000 blog posts in the last 24 hours and every 24 hours, and that's probably larger since this is now a month later. That's probably substantially larger. And there are 81 languages that blogs are written in as of today. Oh, and 59% is the number of bloggers who've been blogging for at least 2 years. If you know about blogs and what blogs do, then you'll know that Twitter, in a nutshell, is microblogging. You're able to blog, but you're limited to about, I believe it's 256 characters. Their microblog is called a tweet. And if you're following them, you're going to get a tweet on your iPhone or on your computer or however you receive that microblog entry. Alright, with that said, to date there have been 1,111,991,000 tweets. 3 million tweets per day. 86,078, that's the number of followers of the most active tweeter. The most active Twitter. When that person sends it out, 86,000 people receive that message instantaneously around the world. So it's like a one-person personal broadcasting. Facebook. Facebook now is a very popular service. Let's take a quick look at these numbers. We have 150 million. That's the number of active users right now. I'm one of them, and there are probably a lot of you in this room who are too. 170 is the number of countries that use Facebook, and there are 35 different languages that are being used in Facebook right now. We have 700 million new photos that are added monthly to Facebook, 52,000 applications, and 140 new applications being added every day because Facebook is made with open architecture. Then there's Digg. Digg is a website recommendation service. For example, if I see a website that I like, I might go to Digg and report it to Digg. Then many other people might also report that same website, so then there might be 200, 300, 400 digs for one particular website. And the more digs you get, the more interest that is generated by that site. So, of course, there's a lot of websites that would love to be dug in Digg. With that said, there's 236 million annual visitors to Digg, and 56% of their front page content is controlled by only 100 users. So right now it's a very centralized and very elite group that is making this website popular. And the last number here, 36,925, is the number of digs that the most popular story in the last year received.